Hello. Welcome back to the What We Said podcast, everybody. Hope you're having a great Tuesday so far.
Hey guys, happy Tuesday.
If you haven't yet, check out our tour dates because we added some shows to New York, to Arizona, and to LA. So check out the description if you're watching on YouTube, the show notes, wherever you're listening. There are tickets available. We still have tickets in Orlando. It's our biggest venue. And we've never been to Florida before. So Florida girlies or around surrounding areas, come hang. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah, if you're in a surrounding state or city, feel free
Spend
to
lots of money to come see us.
Feel free to book a plane ride. No, just like a quick road trip too would be so fun. I feel like a lot of people that came to our shows last time would, like, they weren't even from that place. They're just like, oh, I live in a neighboring city, or a neighboring state. And so me and my friends just drove. Which, yeah, I'm so excited. So excited to meet you guys. Tell some exclusive stories. We got some tea for you. So get your tickets now in the show notes or wherever you're listening, watching, whatever. Hello from Lindsay Lohan and her other rock star friend. I'm forgetting her
Nameless
name.
No, rocker number 2.
You know that girl that she's friends with that's in the band?
Yeah.
Someone was replying to my story that we looked like them in that photo that I posted.
Yeah, for sure.
Which
we
was
were giving early 2000s.
Yes.
You were giving Lindsay Lohan. Like, you were Lindsay.
Thank you. I feel as though if I still had my long hair, it would be even more so. Because I mean, Lindsay had her short hair in Parent Trap. I don't know in any other movies has she had short hair. I feel like she always kind of had the long red hair. So I feel like I look more like her when I do have longer hair. But
you know what was her most iconic looks? Or what were her most iconic looks? Excuse my bad grammar. Oh, wait. Now I can't even remember the name.
Confessions of a Teenage Drama
but that's
Queen?
not the one I'm thinking of. Is it Herbie? Herbie
Fully Loaded or whatever?
Yes.
That's a throwback. I haven't seen that in a minute.
That, like, unlocked a desire in me to be a baddie. Like, her in that movie. And like the music video that came along with it.
Oh, I need to reminisce and go back and watch that.
Is it Herbie Fully Loaded? Herbie. Does that sound right?
That sounds right to me. No, it's Herbie.
Herbie, okay.
But
the race car.
Let me look it up just to verify. But Chelsey and I went to the Freakier Friday premiere. And it was so fun, you guys. And that movie, genuinely, I was actually a little scared because I just sometimes hate when they try and remake a classic. I'm like, just let it be what it was. We don't need a remake. We don't need a redo. But it was so nostalgic and actually
so good.
So cute, so funny. Like, I enjoyed every second. I was eating it all up and I loved it all. It was so good. Yeah, it's Herbie Fully Loaded, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go back and watch that immediately. I've been feeling very nostalgic lately, actually, for like vintage. I found myself getting a little bit more inspired and passionate about fashion, like vintage wise. Like I have a desire to source vintage items, like be on Depop and find, you know what I mean? I've never cared about that, truly. Like when it comes to fashion. Vintage stuff. I feel like vintage home decor I've always loved, but like fashion stuff I just have never cared to like, because I feel like it's very hard to
it is hard.
You have to scavenge. But maybe it's this whole, I don't know what era is like pulling me into just this nostalgia. Even going to that premiere, I was like, oh, I just want to go on Depop and find like cute early 2000s stuff. It's so fun.
So cute.
Yeah, it was a really fun night. We went with Swig. We had some dirty sodas.
Yeah.
And
it was so fun.
It was so fun.
The movie was so cute, so funny. Jamie Lee Curtis was hilarious.
An icon among us.
She is everything. And yeah, I was like, all the worlds were colliding last night. We met David Archuleta, David Archie, our king. We met Jesse from
Secret Lives.
I keep wanting to say Secret Lives of, like, I'm getting Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I always get them and I almost just call them the Real Housewives. The Mormon Wives.
Yes.
The Real Housewives and the Mormon Wives. Confused. But from Slamwa.
Yeah. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We met Jessie, our queen. She is so genuine and sweet. Like, we talked to her forever. Same with David. We talked to them for a long time. Like, we were just at this table with them.
At the Swig. I'm like, what is...
We were Mormon again last night. In case you were wondering. It was so fun, though. And yeah, we met some new people, just hung out, and it was a great great night. Mama's night out, if you will.
Yeah.
So that was very fun. And seeing Lindsay Lohan, Chad Michael Murray in person, and Jamie Lee Curtis was truly like, I was genuinely trying to get, even David Archuleta, honestly, I was thinking like, if you told me when I was little that I would like see them all in person and just be like chatting, I mean, not to that, Lindsay Lohan, but
exchanging numbers with Lindsay.
Like we're best friends now. She was obsessed with my dress, the vibes. I would be quaking and screaming. Like it just is so, it's so cool to see them in real life. Also, not me last week being like, these are real human beings. They're not zoo animals. And then literally I get to the carpet and I'm like 5x zooming on Lindsay, like an actual stalker, videoing her every move. I'm like, when I'm the problem as well.
Shamelessly videoing them as they're making eye contact. Like, yeah, I am filming you. Sorry.
Literally. I was like, I am a creep, actually. Cool. No, but it was, I mean, to be fair, that's kind of what we were all there for. Press and video.
That's
they were
know they're
expecting
being filmed.
Yes.
They asked for it.
Duh. So it was very
not
fun.
talking to them that they asked for it.
So true.
And we were standing on business.
That's true.
I hadn't been to the movie theater in a long time, so that was fun.
Yeah, that was a treat. I know. Because we were at this theater, I was actually confused when we got there. I was like, how is a movie gonna, you know what I mean? That it was not like a movie theater that we were in. Yeah. It was like an iconic old theater in Los Angeles. But
it was giving haunted vibes.
It was giving like you're gonna watch a play kind of. And
it was giving us on tour.
Like,
we need to go to that theater.
Literally, so we do need to go to that. So overconfident. Yeah.
Wait, was it the one in the movie?
No. It's El Capitan was the theater we went to.
I thought we were in I kept looking around like, is this the theater?
Oh, that the girl was
Is this
playing?
Play About Us?
I don't think, no. Okay. I don't think it was. But no, it was so iconic. I wonder how many people that theater holds, but it was so fun and special and sweet. When I was looking back at the photos of us in front of the Freaky Friday, like, just like the colors and everything, I'm like, and because we took it on my camera, that's like kind of an early 2000s camera. I'm like, this is so nostalgic. Yeah. Like it was just giving all the right vibes.
Love.
So yeah. Anything else you wanted to chat about?
Oh, just that I'm going to be extremely careful of what I speak over myself from here on out for the rest of my life, because I was just realizing some of the things I say out loud is like, if I'm really trying to manifest a dream life, I can't be saying some like very negative things constantly. And I'm kind of joking, but I'm also serious because I'm over it. I'm over speaking negatively over myself.
Yeah.
Mixed. I like the little humor, self-deprecating humor every once in a while, but sometimes I get like so in a negative headspace, and then I'm just like, I'm finding all of the negativity and like, this is stressing me out. This is too much. This is whatever. And I'm like, this is just all in my head.
Yeah.
I'm gaslighting myself to be like, no, just be positive and look for the positive. More so just don't let myself get just speaking negatively.
Yeah.
Just not over myself as like, oh, I'm this, but even, oh, I just always do this, or even just, I'm trying to think.
Yes, I can fully relate to that. And I go through phases too. Allow me to speak negatively quickly about myself though. But this is the kind of stuff, like as you were saying that, I'm like, I also need to stop that, because first let me share this story and then I will. Okay, and then we'll backtrack. There have been more diabolical search bars. So, and I am literally giving this power, and I'm the reason that there's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Your earrings are so cute, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. I added some charms to my summer charm earrings. So this girl messages me today. If you're not caught up, the search bar on TikTok, I don't know exactly how.
Oh, there's a third?
Yes, from this morning. I don't know how the search bar is created. In my head, it's because so many people searched that. A majority of people searched that thing, so it becomes like the search bar at the end of your video. So, for example, when I had all my videos about Kendall copying me, the search bar would always be Kendall Jenner copying JC, because people were searching that. They maybe were new to the saga. Yeah. They're like, wait, what is this? So then they would search that, and that would become the most common search bar. When I cut my hair into a bob, and it was haircut for chubbies. haircut for chubbies and round face. Let's not forget that part. So that was the search bar. And I thought it was hilarious. I was like, this is diabolical.
The word
Crazy.
choice, yeah.
Then more recently, I like have these sunglasses on and the search bar is sunglasses for men. And I'm like, perfect. Like me trying to be a fashionista, hot it girl. And that's the search bar. Love it.
I thought it was AI. I thought the search bar was AI.
Maybe it is until this morning. Then why is this AI? This girl messages me. She's like, haha, like who has it out for you on TikTok? The search bar on that video of me talking about the search bar.
Okay.
Girl trying to be funny. Oh, that is far and away the worst one. Oh no, perfect. So I'm a try-hard, ugly, chubby man. Like, I'm so glad that's the vibe I'm putting out. I'm so glad that that's what I'm...
Trying to be funny is crazy.
Girl trying to be funny is the worst thing anyone's ever said about me.
And like, why would people be searching that though on your video? Like they're watching your video. Let me look for other girls trying to be funny.
No, because that's what they think, that I'm a try-hard imbecile.
But why would they search that?
No, I don't know. That's
I think it's
saying.
AI.
That's worse. AI's like, this girl's trying to be funny. Let's see if other girls are trying to be funny. Let's see their videos as well. Kill me.
I am trying to be funny is so funny.
It's so bad. But even that, I'm like, I make it worse by talking about it. And then I'm like, for all I know, people could even be like, oh, let's make the search bar something crazy because I am so reactive that I will freak out about it.
Yeah.
If I just was silent, you know, if I was moving silently, no one would do this to me.
True. And the universe follows the rule of bullies of like, oh, the bigger the reaction, the more they'll tease you kind of thing.
Exactly.
Know?
And they know I'm reactive. That's what I'm saying. They know I'll freak out and do this on the podcast. So then they make it worse. Or AI or the universe or whoever, they make those search bars
Aren't
like that.
they the same at this point?
At this point, yes. So
yeah, exactly.
I am manifesting, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I am manifesting hot
looks for summer.
Exactly.
MILF vibes.
How to get body... Hold on.
How to get body T clock.
How to become a human clock with a body that's T. That's what I'm trying to kind of manifest right now.
Lindsay Lohan, body T clock.
Exactly.
Body T Love Island clock.
I am trying to manifest something extremely positive that just kind of, you know, that confirms my own
home goals.
Yeah.
Body
Architectural
goals.
Digest home.
Bob goals.
Bob's summer goals.
Yeah.
Trendsetter.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what I'm going for.
Perfect. Put it out there.
Yeah.
Queen.
So that's what I'm actually that's what I'm manifesting now. And that's the frequency I'm emitting, if you were curious. So we'll see what's to come.
Yeah. Love it. Can't wait.
Anyway, so you're over speaking negatively because
yes. Well, and you know,
I'm just picturing like we'll see how long that lasts.
Yes. 5 seconds. Before we get into today's episode. But the thing is the reason I'm even saying that, like being careful what I speak in general, is because I see things when I say something and I'm like, now why would I go running my mouth and look what I've caused? Because remember, fast forward a month ago and I'm like,
fast forward or rewind?
Rewind.
Okay.
I'm like both. Rewind a month ago to me saying, I just want to free bleed. Like I just have the urge. Then this month, the day I start my period, my plumbing breaks and I have no toilet. I have no water and I'm having to run to the gas station in our neighbor's house and having to shower at JC's house while I'm on my period. The worst time of all. The universe is like, okay, honey.
Free bleeding? Okay.
Yeah, I'm clocking your tea.
I'm clocking you, baby.
And you're about to stand on business and stand in your backyard. Oh, but don't worry, I can't even go in my backyard because they're redoing it and having to rip up all of our plumbing. I'm like, wow, okay. I was like, sometimes I get the urge. They said, bada bing, bada boom.
Wish granted.
Wish granted, honey. Say no more. Like, that's why I need to be speaking things I really want.
Yeah. I mean, you did speak, you know, positively about the free renovations, the landlord, all of that. We love that.
I mean, I guess it's positive because we're getting new plumbing. It's going to be perfect.
True. And it's not on your dime. So
wonderful. We're going to have a little staycation. We're going to have to leave for like a night or two. So
love.
Fun little staycation.
Blessings in disguise, mama.
Yes, of course. The universe is always has my back, mama.
That sucks though. It was so
No.
Chelsea's like
The day
8
I
p.m.
started my
She's
period.
like, can I come shower at your house? I'm like, of course.
Literally.
Came over with a sleepover bag.
Oh, 100%. It was the best shower ever, by the way. Like, wow, that shower head was gnarly.
I'm happy you enjoyed it.
But yeah, that's my main life update. But I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Same. I want you to lead off this conversation.
Perfect. Oh,
Because
here's another thing. Please feel free to zoom in on my phone.
if you're watching on YouTube,
I cracked the back of my brand new iPhone 16 with one drop. Oh my gosh, that was like
that's
freaking
a new phone too.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, got a new phone. And I haven't got a case yet for it.
Oh my gosh. Yesterday you said that. That's just like I was just
like, I haven't got a
reminded of
case
that.
yet.
I was like,
I
oh,
need
you're
a case.
You're free.
And
What's the word?
that
Not
is
free
another
bleeding.
example. I'm like, I said it last night. I'm like, I need to get a case. And the universe said,
Yeah, you do.
yeah, too slow, mama. Think quicker, mama. Use Amazon Prime, mama. But anyways, so just know that just happened this morning if you see me doing this. And my phone is literally cutting glass into my hand. Okay.
Anyways, let's talk about we have a slew of probably topics that we'll intersect today.
Slew. I love that word. Okay. So if you were here last week, we edged you as we were going to talk about community, small talk. And this was brought on because I came across this account of this lovely man.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
It's very common to feel stressed at work. I think we all know that. We've almost normalized it a little bit too much, the rise of workplace stress. And when summer comes along, it's easy to kind of check out and want to be like, okay, you know what? This summer, I'm going to focus on my wellness. I'm going to focus on, managing my work-life balance, my stressors. And now that workplace stress is one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. Obviously, vacations and everything are great, but it's important to build your overall wellness routine and work on those small things to help you focus on your mental wellness and to battle stress. And one of the things that helps the most is therapy. So don't forget that therapy can help you navigate whatever challenges the workday or any day might bring. Therapy is not just for people who've experienced major trauma. If you're trying to learn how to have more positive coping skills, how to set boundaries, maybe you just want to feel empowered to make the best decisions for yourself and be the best version of yourself, therapy is such an amazing tool.
There are obviously little things you can do every day if you have a workout routine or daily walks that you do to get in the sunlight. Or maybe you even have booked a trip and you're like, I just want to look forward to something. That's amazing. But those also sometimes aren't long-term solutions to stress. And your mental health is so, so important. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews. It's also very convenient. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists anytime, which is very important. You definitely want to make sure you're on the same wavelength as your therapist and that you really, really like them and trust them. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/whatwesaid. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/whatwesaid. This show is sponsored by Cotton.
One of my favorite things about summer is a summer wardrobe, and something that I've been focusing on ever since I've had kids, especially, is making sure that what I'm wearing is made from natural fibers. So something that comes from the earth. And one of my favorites, and probably most of your favorites you don't even realize, is cotton. I'm always looking for 100% cotton shirts, pants, underwear, bras. Like, I'm trying constantly to wear, like I said, mostly natural fabrics. So not only does cotton feel good on your skin, but it's gentle on your skin. It breathes, it keeps you cool, it's hypoallergenic, and it's just durable and easy to wash. It's really just the best fabric for your clothes or your kids' clothes.
There are also so many different cotton fabrics like denim, corduroy, and flannel. Cotton's very versatile, so you can wear it obviously any style, season, or occasion. It is timeless. I feel like I wear cotton from day to night. I love a cotton t-shirt in the summer, and paired with denim is kind of just like my outfit formula. It's perfect for spring and summer, and the quality is amazing. It's durable, it's easy to wash and care for, and cotton keeps its shape too, which is really nice. Cotton is the fabric of our lives, so make sure to check your tags for cotton and learn more at thefabricofourlives.com. This episode of What We Said is brought to you by Huggies Little Snugglers. Huggies is the only leading brand with all-around blowout protection for sizes 1 and 2. Word on the street is that you guys really liked our Huggies ad last time. No promises that this one will be as amazing, but all the parents out there know that there is nothing worse than a blowout, especially when your baby is in sizes 1 and 2. That's kind of the age I feel like the blowouts are mostly happening. And it's the worst when you finally get the courage to leave your house with your newborn or your infant, and you're just like ready to take on the town, okay? Whether you're going on a walk, you're going to a cafe, a restaurant, or something, and you take your kid out of their car seat and they've had a blowout, and you're just like, oh, this is the perfect way that I wanted to spend my day, is cleaning all of this up. So it's very nice that with the Little Snugglers, it's a diaper you can trust to avoid situations like that.
Having a baby that loves to move and do what I do is very fun, but it also can be very challenging to find a diaper that keeps up with them through the day's activities. You shouldn't have to live your life worrying about how you'll deal with the next inevitable blowout. So ease your blowout anxiety by switching to Huggies Little Snugglers. Huggies Little Snugglers are up to 100% leak proof with blowout protection in the front and back on sizes 1 and 2. And you don't think you need both of those, but you do, trust me. So you can feel confident relying on them for your little ones. Huggies Little Snugglers now with blowout protection in every direction. Sizes 1 and 2. Huggies, we got you, baby. Our dear friend Englishman Mike on Instagram, I came across. Okay. And this was so fascinating because he talks about small talk and the art of small talk. And I think he has a whole course. I was this close to buying it just because it was a topic I'd never really learned about, thought about as a topic in general. But here was his little slide that he did. I'll read it to you guys. Okay, so it says small talk for people who think they're above small talk. And then it says in parentheses, you're not, and everyone around you knows it. You're not above small talk. And I think I just felt called out by this a little bit because I always used to say, especially, in college or when you're really socializing and getting to know new people, I'd always be like, I don't want to talk about the weather. I just want to get deep and just talk about
that must
feelings.
be a universal experience. Yeah. I feel like I've totally said that.
And this was basically saying the opposite, and all the comments, anyways, it was just opening my eyes. Okay. So he was saying, you don't hate small talk, you're just terrible at it. And because you think you're too real for it, you keep getting left out of rooms that run on it. You answer questions. So here's some points. You answer questions too literally. So when someone says what have you been up to? You say, not much, just working. Tip, the tip for this is always give a real response and a hook. Example, mostly work, but I'm trying to teach myself how to play guitar, which is complete chaos. Giving something
to go off
yes,
of.
Yes, people don't want your schedule. They want something to riff off of. Okay, the next is you ask questions that feel like an interview. So what do you do? Where are you from? How long have you been here? And he's saying ask open-ended, low-stake questions that aren't so, feel like questions they've answered a million times. It's what's keeping you busy outside work? Are you caught in any ridiculous weather lately? And then he's saying these invite play, not performance. Again, to riff off of each other. Then he said, you dive too deep and much too soon.
Yeah.
So
literally trauma dumping.
Yes, literally. Yes. He's saying, I hate small talk people. Always say things like, so what drives you at a drinks event? Relax.
Literally.
And the tip is match the room, read the mood, and shallow comes before depth always. You cannot just dive into deep conversations. He was saying, think of small talk as the warm-up act. You have to do it. You just have to. The next one is you only speak when spoken to. Sorry, but you're not polite. You're hard work. Tip, learn to initiate. Use the context. So that's if you're around a snack table, be that snack table is dangerously close to me. Just making jokes about where you are or making comments about the atmosphere. Or he uses another example. I feel like we should be talking about the weather. That's the rule, right? Just saying things jokingly to get people
comfortable.
Yes, comfortable. It's low pressure, it's observant, lightly self-deprecating equals approachable. So
Yeah.
speak negatively about yourself. As I was saying, we will be touching on that. But even just like saying a joke like, oh, I'm too close to this snack table or something like that is always makes you seem approachable. He said, you don't realize small talk is the main event. Nobody's going to say, hey, everyone, let's network. Like,
Right.
It's unspoken.
It's an unspoken thing.
Yeah. They're going to say, cold out, isn't it? And the tip is respect it, learn it, and use it. If you keep waiting for a real conversation, you'll miss all the real opportunities. And then one of the comments, I don't think I screenshotted the comment, but one of the comments was saying, I actually hate when people say this to me. Like they'll be like, let's get deep, or like, come on, tell me what really makes you tick, like right away.
Okay. If someone said that to me, I would call the police. That's what makes me tick. Get out of my face. Like
Literally. They were saying though, they're like, it makes me feel like I'm just there to entertain them. Like they're just so bored and they just can't handle the small talk. So they want like immediate access to everything about me. Like, no, like you have to
work for it.
Work for it. Yeah, exactly. Like you need to work for it and not just feel entitled to being entertained by me, like for this conversation. And
It's actually like a very selfish.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm bored. Selfish. Entertain me. Like, tell me about yourself. It's just like, well, no.
Yeah.
That's not human interaction. Which I just thought was very interesting. I literally wanted to take the course because
no, I love that.
I feel like small talk is, here's some other tips from him. Our English man, Mike, also. Love him.
He's a slay.
He's a slay. I'll put a screenshot on the screen of him. He was saying like, you turn every question into a therapy session. So
These are things he's saying you're doing wrong.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's saying in order to fix it, you need to have small talk does not equal deep dive. You don't need to tell them your breakup saga. Say something light, then pass the ball back to them. Mm-hmm. So don't just like take one question they ask as like a deep dive into yourself and you're going into like all your history and then you realize you haven't asked them a single question. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's a little game of tennis. For sure. Table tennis. Another thing you do wrong, he said, you don't ask questions. They have to do all the lifting. Mm-hmm. So that also I feel like, again, it's more being considerate. Like sometimes I can use, I'm feeling shy tonight or I'm feeling whatever. I'm just feeling not outgoing tonight. And then if someone's talking to me, I'm like noticing myself being more shy, I guess. Not even necessarily shy, but like I'm letting them ask the questions. Yeah. And I'm just like justifying it as I'm not feeling outgoing tonight. But I feel as though there is an art to small talk and getting into a conversation to learn more about the person. And it's not just like getting there right away and then you become best friends and that's how you build community. It's like community starts with small talk and little considerate notions like asking what they've been enjoying lately, if they've been playing pickleball like everyone around you, like just little questions like that. I feel like that's the answer to if you're like, I don't have a lot of friends, I don't feel like I have a good community. It's like going out and doing things in your community and being, you know, whether it's workout classes or whether you're just going to the same park all the time or, you know, you're part of a certain religious community or anything. Mm-hmm. It's like having those small talk conversations, even though they may seem boring or maybe it's really hard for you to put yourself in social situations, just like start it and practice. And the more you do it, the better you'll get.
I think practice is key, and that's probably what holds people back is if you are feeling antisocial or like you haven't done it, it can be nerve-wracking, but I feel like listening is one of the best tips. And I was listening to Kenzie Elizabeth's podcast, House Guest. She did an episode with a woman, and they were talking about being an interesting person and asking interesting questions. It was like it was kind of a similar topic, and so I wanted to prep for this episode. I was listening to it, and she was saying listening to understand, not to respond. And like genuinely, she's like, some people will say to me, like, I don't know what questions to ask. Like I just get nervous. But she was saying, if you are genuinely listening, the question is in there. Mm-hmm. Like you will find the question to ask. But if you're kind of just like, or if you're kind of in your head while they're talking, you're like loading up your next question, you can't have a super genuine conversation because you're not truly listening to what they're saying. And that is what is going to give you your next, like that's the play of the tennis going back and forth, is listening to understand and really comprehend what they're saying. And then it will volley you to like the next flow of conversation. And I do feel like people do love to talk about themselves, obviously. So the more questions you ask, honestly, the more likable you become to them, which it is such a give and take. Like, I feel like certain people just vibe well and certain people don't. Like, I will have conversations sometimes with people where I notice that they do seem very uninterested in what I'm saying. And like, it is very off-putting to me where I'm like, and not that someone needs to be like, you know, just kissing my butt being like, and this, but it's like, if I am sensing that I have to do all the heavy lifting, you're not listening to what I'm actually saying.
Yeah.
It's not fun to have a conversation with you.
Definitely
it's
not.
like, yeah, it's a back and forth.
Yeah, you can sense when they're not listening, when they don't care. When they ask a question, you're like, I wasn't even talking about that at all.
Or
like,
they'll ask you the same question they've already asked.
Yes.
That's happened recently a few times. Like, I've noticed someone will be like, oh, how old is she or whatever? And I'll like be talking about Benny. And then like literally 2 minutes later, like, oh, how old? And I'm like, okay, so you literally didn't listen at all. I just answered that. I'm not claiming to be a professional conversationalist. It's just like something that I've noticed. And I've probably done that to someone too. If I'm, you know, in my head or something, but I think it's something to think about and work on, is like truly listening when someone's talking to you and being interested in them and being engaged, because that is how you, first of all, are interesting to people, is being interested in them. Yeah. That is my least favorite type of person to have a conversation with, is someone who just like doesn't ask any questions and doesn't seem interested. I'm like, it just is not fun. And
then you start looking for a way out of the conversation too.
Yeah. I'm just like, this is
neither
not
of us want to be here now. Yeah. That is actually the worst, especially when they're looking around. You're like, okay, just go talk to them. Yeah. I feel like building relationships is such a deeper thing than I used to think it was. And it is more, not necessarily an art, but kind of. And it's something like we were saying, like you have to practice and go out and do and like expose yourself to it. And there's going to be awkward conversations. There's going to be awkward pauses. There's going to be times you feel like, but I do feel like if you're having a good small talk conversation, you're just like getting to know each other on like a lighter level, like first date material, not like 15th date material. You're going to feel better walking away from that situation and more excited to get to know them more. And they'll, like you were saying, like probably want to get to know you more too, because you were not trauma dumping on them. Like sometimes if I do that too quick and we're just like right away jump into the trauma, or like they're talking about something so deep and personal right away, I walk away feeling like,
it's like a burden almost.
Yes. Or if I share too much, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to see them again. Like,
literally. It's like, why did I talk about all of that?
Exactly.
I feel like that's a thing. I've totally done that before. I've like been the person who shares way too much too. I always regret it, number one. And it just feels like, coming from someone who has done that, I feel like it was my way of feeling like, oh, if I just reveal all of this and I'm literally telling my deepest, darkest secret to keep the conversation going, like if I just kind of throw all this, then they will feel like close to me and it'll be like, I'm relatable. I think that's like what the thought process is like, oh, I want them to know like my guard is down and like, I'll tell you whatever. I'm an open book. But it's like, if it is especially something traumatic or really deep that you're telling them, that is like a burden you're placing on them when they don't know you yet.
Exactly.
It's not, they have no context. It's like almost like, I don't want to say love bombing, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a friendship way where it's just
trauma
like,
dumping.
It is. It's trauma dumping. You just dumped all this on me and it's like, whoa, that's intense. Like, okay, now I know a lot about you, but I also feel like that was just a lot for the first time I've known you for 10 minutes, you know?
Yes. And if you start doing that too much, you will feel like you're just like leaving pieces of yourself with these random people and you feel like you're not protecting yourself in a way. And also vice versa. If people start doing that to you, you start feeling like not safe with them for some reason. You're just like, that was not like, I don't know. Didn't seem.
Well, because it feels like if someone's going to that quickly drop everything that they've ever gone through, then in my head, it feels like they're not as trustworthy because maybe now if I tell them something, they will have no problem dropping all of that to someone else in the first 10 minutes.
True.
Like it feels like you don't, protect your peace enough.
Yeah.
Or something.
I also saw this other TikTok that it was kind of controversial. And honestly, when you watch a TikTok and you either agree with it or you disagree, and then you go to the comments and everyone thinks completely separate from you, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yes, queen. Like, when watching this thing, and then I went to the comments, like, this is the worst take ever. And everyone was like agreeing. I'm like,
you're like,
and I didn't agree with everything she said, genuinely. But like, I had already seen this, my man Mike, his whole like
video
account,
about small talk and
yeah,
stuff.
just like all his content. And then I saw that's probably why the algorithm sent this video to me. It was the Subway interview, or what's that called? Like the guy on the subway that like interviews people.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that.
And he was asking one girl, like, he always asks, like, what's your most unpopular opinion or what's your hot take? And she was saying, which again is crazy to be this
blunt.
Blunt with it. But she was saying introverts are like morally, or like not immoral, but introverts are wrong for being like work harder to be a little bit more extroverted. And
like they need to be more extroverted.
Yes,
kind of. Okay.
Like it's not basically. She literally said they're morally wrong, which is not what I think. But I think that when she was explaining it, because he was immediately like, I disagree. Like I don't think that's right. She was like, but it leaves, what she was saying all around is it leaves the burden of building community, getting people together, bringing up the conversations, like it literally is like the mental load of community on the people who are being outgoing and extroverted and like putting themselves out there. And I agreed with that. I'm like, I do feel, as someone who has identified as both, like the person who is being extroverted and who is being outgoing and feeling sometimes like, why am I the only one putting the feelers out here in this room, or like in this situation, in this group, and going home and feeling like, okay, maybe they didn't care as much, or opposite, going and being the one that's like, I just didn't put in any work. I just let everyone else, pull the weight. And all of the comments were like, this is such a bad take. But it was a lot of introverts being like, no, this is such a bad take, blah, blah, blah. Like, we just don't like you talking. Like, maybe you talk too much, just like, extroverts think they whatever. And I was just like, okay, we don't need to be divided into extroverts and introverts. But I think the overall just idea reminded me of this, of being like, you're not bad at small talk. You don't not like it. You're just not good at it yet. Because you need to go out and practice. And people who are even neurodivergent, and like, it's harder for them if they have some kind of like, if they're on the spectrum, or if they have ADHD or something that is not as, it's not as easy for them to be social. Something they do and they work on, sometimes more than people who are, what is the
neurotypical?
Other? Yeah, neurotypical. They will work on it more than other people. They will like practice going out and being social and having small talk and doing these things, that I think it's almost, I think she was kind of saying it's lazy of introverts to just be like, which again.
I can agree and disagree totally.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't think it's lazy, because I don't really believe in laziness that much. I feel like laziness is just in general is code for fearful. Like there are other things that make people lazy. I don't think someone is just like lazy and wants to have a bad life.
Yeah.
I think that people are, if you would consider someone lazy, it's like, oh, they're just not a hard worker and they're lazy. Like maybe they have a lot of trauma in their life, or they are fearful of putting themselves out there because they've been rejected a lot, or they didn't have love as a kid. Like I genuinely believe it's so much deeper.
Yes.
So I feel like throwing a blanket of like, oh, that's lazy, I don't like that. But what I can agree with is like, if you are more introverted, or you're like, oh, I just don't like to put effort in, that's fine, but don't expect to have like a flourishing community. That exactly. is on an individual person. You can't just be like, well, but I'm just shy, so like everyone else needs to do the work for me. It's like, well, again, that's fine if that's like the way you want to live your life and you don't want to work on it, but also you can't expect to have amazing friendships and people super close to you if you are not asking questions, being interested, putting in effort to stuff. Like that's it. I understand it almost is like rude in a way. It's like you go to an event and then you just expect everyone else to come and talk to you. Because like, well, I'm shy. It's like, well, that's a skill. Like you said, conversing with people is a skill. That is something that you can try and work on.
It's inconvenient for everybody. It's scary to everybody most of the time, unless they're like super practiced and just like, there are some people who are just naturally no social fear
anxiety
at all. Yeah. And obviously I do think that social anxiety is such a thing. And it's, especially in today's day and age, like there's so many things that we are scared of socially, and like rejection, and social media makes it worse. So it is a bit of a hurdle, but I do think even just identifying it, if you're feeling like you don't have a close community, or you find it hard to like have friends, or even just like have people to go to, I feel like one area you could look at that you could try to improve upon is the small talk, and is just like going out socially and like making an effort, putting yourself in awkward situations where you're just like, oh, this is so awkward. Like, they didn't hear me, or they didn't answer this right question, or I didn't know what to say next, and then I stumbled over my words. It's like, that's fine.
That's fine.
You got to just do that a couple times and understand that it's not the end of the world. Like, you're not unsafe because you're doing that.
It's also like recoverable. I feel like I've done that so many times where I've like been in a conversation, I stumble over my words, they mishear me, like,
and it feels
literally
awkward.
last night I said something and then they misheard me completely.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sorry, I said this. Like, I got closer to them. It's like, that could either be a moment where you're like, oh no, I just ruined it.
And or the whole conversation, then you like check out and you're like, oh, they didn't hear me. This is awkward.
Or you could just clarify and be like, oh, sorry, I meant this. Again, that's like practice. But I feel like, that is so important, is just to like, just practice small talk and speaking to people, because the more you do that, also the better you'll get at asking questions, the more interesting you will become. It just like all flows, and then you will find more of your village or your community.
Exactly.
It all is a domino effect.
Okay, I wanted to read more of his things. Englishman Mike's little tips. He was saying, again, these are like things you do wrong, is you kill the moment with awkward exits. So like you don't know how to end the conversation, or you drag it on and you feel awkward and you trauma dump, which is when people tend to.
Wait, he's saying you don't know how to exit the conversation?
Yeah, you kill the moment with awkward exits. Like, so you awkwardly.
Right. So what's the tip for that? I'm curious.
So the tip to fix it, don't panic and run, end with a line that sounds like closure. So like, I'll let you catch up with other people, but it was lovely chatting, or something like that, which most people are going to appreciate that. Sometimes you feel awkward being like, okay, I'll let you talk to other people, and when you're just like standing there, but most of the time they're like, yeah, cool, I have other people I need to talk to here, or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like
but
that's
again,
a good tip.
You got to practice. That one is kind of scary. You try to be funny instead of warm. So to fix this, a dry comment works after rapport. So lead with warmth, then layer in with wit. So don't immediately start and expect people to know your humor. Like,
totally.
Especially if you have, you're very sarcastic or self-deprecating. If you just like lead with that, sometimes it's not as
well received.
Yes. Yeah. So like start with
ease
warmth
in with that,
and welcoming, and then you can show them how funny you are.
Yeah. Because again, that's kind of not rude, but I feel like that's also a self-serving mindset to be like, well, I just have dry humor, like or when people are like, I just say it like it is. It's like, okay, well, that's rude. Yes. when someone does not know you at all.
Yeah,
so exactly. It's like, even that's totally fine to have a dry sense of humor, as long as you kind of ease your way into it. It's not just like immediately you're like insulting them and they're like, oh, and you're like, oh, it's just my humor. It's like, well, they don't, there's
don't
no
know
rapport.
That. Yeah.
I feel like that is really good. Yeah. To think about.
And then the last thing is you treat silence like failure. So how to fix it. Silence is normal. Small talk has beats. Let it breathe. You don't need to fill every second. Which is hard. I'm bad at that too.
The second there's silence, I'm like immediately filling. No, literally, I'm like immediately trying to fill it.
Yes, I know.
It's bad. That's definitely something I need to work on.
Yeah, because if you just let it be silent, you can, instead of panicking about the silence, you can be thinking if there's anything else you want to ask them, or if there's anything else you want to know, or if it's silent for a second, then you can be like, all right, well, it's so good talking to you. I loved catching up. Like,
yeah,
I'll let you talk to other people, because you don't always have to make up some excuse, because usually people know if it's just an excuse. It's like, oh, I have to do this. It's like, okay. Well,
yeah.
We just both know it's like a natural break. But also, all of this is inconvenient, and like the small talk sometimes, and like I was saying, it can be scary. And I feel like everybody knows that quote. I feel like it's circulated social media so much, but where it's like being annoyed is the price you pay for community or inconvenience. So there's like a tweet. I'm sure a million people have tweeted. I don't even know who the initial tweeter is. But being annoyed is the price you pay for community. It means having guests when you'd rather be alone. It means letting someone live with you even when you get on their nerves. It means showing up for events that you'd rather not go to. It means turning the other It means showing up for events that you'd rather not go to. It means turning the other cheek. I don't know how that has anything to do with it. Literally, it makes the opposite.
Turning your cheek from your family.
Literally. To more successful status people.
Literally.
No. But I was thinking about that because to lead me into my next little segment called Why You Want to Be Alone All the Time. I was listening to the book The Mountain Is You, and the author was talking about sometimes when you tend to want to isolate, like if you're always wanting to be alone and it's really hard for you to be with other people, not all the time. Again, there's definitely certain situations, but sometimes it's because you are not yourself. You're not acting like yourself. You're not being authentic when you're around other people. So
you're like exhausted when you're around them.
Yeah, it's exhausting to you. And you may feel as though you're not aligned with who you pretend to be, like the mask you wear for other people. So, looking inward and being like, okay, I'm wanting to not see anybody. Like, why is that? It's because maybe I feel like I have to be fake around them. Maybe I feel, like I'm scared to be honest. Like I'm feeling a certain way. I notice that I want to isolate if I'm feeling like I'm not perfect. Like I'm not perfect. Like I'm not doing great. Like if I'm like, oh, I am like struggling a little bit. Like I am feeling a little anxious, or I'm a little like depressed, or I'm on my period, or like I feel like I'm just like grumpy or something. Then I want to be isolated naturally because I'm like, well, I don't want to bring that to other people. I don't want to have to like put on a show when I'm tired, mama.
Yeah.
But I think in general, if it's like a theme that lasts for a long time, I think it's worth looking into because that also can be holding you back from having like a real, true community that you can go to and you support each other. And that means like both ways too, where you show up even when you don't want to, because then that means other people are probably showing up for you when they don't necessarily, it's not the most convenient thing to them, but that's the beauty of it. That's like the price you pay to have people around you. And I really feel like the older I get, the more I understand the value of community for not only you, but your relationship and your family. Like, I think about that now with kids. I'm like, I almost feel like the most valuable thing I can give them, more than like a new car on their 16th birthday, a trust fund, like anything that parents think like, oh, I need to give them this to have them have a successful life and a happy life. I'm like, the thing I can work to give my kids is community, like working to find people that I trust, that I love, that they feel safe around, that they trust, that they will have this like community of friends and family that they love so much, that they trust so much as they get older. Like that is invaluable to me.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like with the village and community thing, something else that they were talking about in that podcast episode is that your village can only be so big. And I feel like that is also something to note, is like you can have tons of different friends and they all can serve different purposes, but I feel like your genuine village, like the people around you, I've noticed that with myself, is that I will overexert a little bit, or like maybe say yes to too much, or I feel like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like I'm giving too much to too many people. And I think once I had Benny, that was something that I realized, is like, I try to be a good friend, but I have a lot of people that I tried to do that for. And then it's like, whoa, this is actually like, I can't, different friends mean different things to me. Like my immediate village just can't be huge, because then I will be just exhausted trying to, I don't know, like do these things for all these people. And then I don't know.
Yeah.
That was just like something that I wanted to touch on, is that it's so great to have a community and a village, but it really can only, I mean, I'm not going to put a number on it. It's like this many people can be in there. Yeah. But it's like you just can only do so much for so many people. Therefore, you can only expect so much in return.
Yes.
So you kind of have to keep it like kind of tight. And there's going to be friends who you maybe move away from, who you're still like super close to, and you catch up and you DM or send voice notes or text or call when you can, but that's not who you're calling when you have an emergency, because they don't live near you, whatever. It's just like there are seasons and chapters of life, and some people, it just kind of ebbs and flows, especially with my friends who I don't live by me anymore. Like I find that where I'm like, if they lived by me, they totally would be in my immediate village. But it's like, you know, they live on the opposite side of the country. So it's not the same anymore, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's a good point too, because sometimes if you try and make a bigger village, you're like neglecting the village you already have.
Exactly.
I think that's a great point.
I think there are different types of people too. Some people find it difficult to have a village and some people have too big of a village. Like they, again, like overexert, you know?
For sure.
And then they can't even, like attend to their actual family and stuff.
No, exactly.
I am so insanely excited that Tubby Todd is a sponsor of the podcast because these are products that I use every single day for Benny and I have since she was a newborn. I love them so, so much. Tubby Todd is a bath and body brand for sensitive skinned little ones and the parents who care for them. It's trusted by over 1 million families. And we have a discount code for them, which we'll share at the end. And I'm so, so excited. So Tubby Todd was founded by a mom of 4 who dealt with eczema and sensitive skin firsthand. Their products are super gentle, effective. They smell amazing. They're perfect for newborns, toddlers, and even moms. Their all over ointment is a holy grail staple. I've gone through multiple jars of it, but honestly, a little goes a long way and it lasts a long time as well. I love Tubby Todd's diaper rash cream. They now have it in a spray. Have you seen that, Chelsey? Where you can just spray it on their bum, which is so nice. So you don't have to, wipe it on there yourself. I love Tubby Todd's sunscreen. We use all of their bath products every single time we give Benny a bath. Like, I am the biggest fan. And their products are made for sensitive skin, including eczema-prone babies.
Every product is obsessively tested for safety and quality. It's created by parents for families that care about what goes on their little one's skin. A fan favorite, like JC said, is the all-over ointment. It is literally magic in a jar. I always give it to people for their baby shower gifts because you're going to use it. We also use the bubble bath every single night for the boys' baths and the shampoo. And I always keep their sunscreen in my purse ready for, if the boys want to go play and it's a little sunny outside. They're not just a product, they're a community of support and care. Tubby Todd makes bath time and skincare easier, safer, and more fun for families. So visit tubbytodd.com and use code TubbyTodd15 at checkout for 15% off your first purchase. That's TUBBYTODD.com and use code TubbyTodd15 for 15% off. Again, that's TubbyTodd15 for 15% off. Go check it out. You guys know we don't gatekeep on this podcast. We're always standing on business. So we have to tell you guys about our latest obsession. It's small, it's colorful, and it helps you get everything that you could ever want. It's this little thing called Venmo. You guys know Venmo. But did you know that now it's for much more than just paying your friends? Venmo has a debit card that connects directly to your Venmo balance, so you can Venmo everything. So food, drinks, rides, the clothes on your back, groceries, gym membership, anything. It's so convenient because you can just spend the money that's already in your Venmo balance. So getting paid back for dinner can turn into paying for coffee, yoga classes, new shoes, whatever you want, which is so nice because, we get sick of the little song and dance of like transferring it to your bank. Then you have to Venmo someone the next day. Then you're like, wait, what am I even doing transferring this back and forth when I'm just using it again in 5 seconds? So that is why the Venmo debit card is absolutely game changing.
If you are a girly who finds yourself picking up the bill when your friends, you're at a girls' night for dinner, this is a great hack. You can settle it before you pay the bill. So have everyone Venmo you. Then your balance is ready to cover the total. So you just swipe your adorable, might I add, pink Venmo debit card and boom, it's taken care of. Also, a very amazing selling point is that the card actually Venmos you back. So similar to a credit card, but not a credit card. When you pay with your Venmo debit card, you can earn up to 15% cash back at some of your favorite places, which is a win-win. You guys have to check it out. Sign up today to Venmo everything with the Venmo debit card. Visit venmo.me/debit to learn more. Venmo cashback terms at venmo.me/rewards. Offers are available for a limited time at select merchants. Max cashback applies and varies. Venmo purchase restrictions apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere. MasterCard is accepted. Okay, I had 2 thoughts that I had written down. These are they're also from the podcast episode I was listening, and it was kind of to your earlier point. Number 1 is if you feel like you're bad at socializing, you can practice with servers or baristas or people like that because they're literally paid to socialize with you.
Yeah.
So,
or so you think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Till you go off script. But you know what? That is a great example of me
putting yourself out there.
Well, yes, but also maybe sometimes I do, say
Trauma
something
dump?
that's like, I don't think I ever trauma dump. I'm never like saying something crazy, but maybe I need to be a little lighter and expect it to just be a couple things, and not expect them to like sit down and chat with me, for a long time.
True.
Not necessarily like the depth of it, but like the length of it. It's like maybe I just need to be like, okay, thanks. We can have 2 comments back and forth, and then we can leave.
I feel like that is a good tip though if you're like nervous to be in a group setting with people, like with new friends or something. It's like you can start with kind of lower stakes where you maybe won't see this server again for a while or ever, depending on where you are. Maybe you go to this coffee shop every day, you don't want to do something.
Great point,
but
yeah.
with a barista, like just kind of, going back and forth, having a little small talk while you're whatever.
Yeah, because they're bound to ask, go to Trader Joe's. They're bound to ask you what you're doing this weekend.
Honestly, Trader Joe's is a great place to start because they're so nice there.
And you just try and answer with something, because usually people just answer honestly. It's like, oh, I have this later. I'm just working, whatever.
Yeah.
Try and say something that they can see if they bounce back off of it. Like, be like, okay, my challenge is I'm going to answer their question with something that opens up them to have like a good response.
Exactly.
And see how well it goes.
The other thought I had is completely different, but they were talking about how there are kind of invitations for connection that people will give you, and maybe that's not even a conscious thing that they're doing. But for example, your partner, if they're like, whoa, like come look at this bird out the window or something, and you're just like, no, I don't want to come over there. You are missing. That was an invitation to connect with them because they wanted to show you something they were excited about, and you just like completely cut it off. And that was an example of like, if someone is excited to talk about something or like, oh, I found out this, and you just act uninterested, or you're like, you're missing out on a connection that, that's something that's important to them. And I feel like going off of that, if like your friend has a new hobby or something, like asking them about that hobby and not just being like, well, I don't care about that. It's like, well, again, you're missing out on a connection point that you could have, and just like building, I don't know, connection and a deeper relationship by following those cues.
Yes, 100%.
So I feel like that's something good to keep in mind too, because I feel like it can be easy with like specifically your partner or your really good friends to be like, I don't care about certain things, but it's good to, kind of dive into it with them a little bit.
What do you like about them? How'd you find them?
Exactly.
Love that.
I'm practicing silence right now.
I'm like, well, this is
this
broadcast.
is getting extremely awkward. Do you have anything else that guy said?
No.
What are his credentials? Like, who is he? Is he
He's English.
Okay, we trust him then. Great.
Yeah. Let me find his Instagram really quick. Wait, did you have another point though? I thought you said you had 2.
That was my 2 points.
Oh.
It was the practice with baristas.
Oh, and the point
connection.
Okay. Sorry, that's why I was being silent. I was waiting for your second one. I was practicing being a very good listener.
Were you silent or silenced?
Both. British by birth, legend by choice. Here to educate, entertain, and stir the pot.
Legend by choice is...
Oh, legend by choice is iconic.
My new bio. Our new merch. Legend by choice.
Literally.
Wait, what was the first part? Born what?
British by birth, legend by choice.
Valley girl by birth, icon by choice.
Literally.
Our new bio. For
Valley
real.
girl by birth, vapid by choice.
Literally.
You know what I think also I really liked about his page? He had one called Office Politics for people who think they're above office politics. And I think this is so good for corporate girlies, or like if you're dipping your toe into a new career, or, you really want to get into that business. Check out Englishman Mike. Honestly, he's not a sponsor of this podcast, but honestly, he should be. But I'll give you a little bit of his like office politics for people who think they're above office politics, because being brilliant isn't enough. Like how to woo your boss, like how to not like the head of HR at what's it called, but woo your boss in a office appropriate way. And he said this isn't about being fake, it's about being strategic. The rules exist and ignoring them doesn't make you noble, it makes you replaceable. So learn how your boss wants to look good, then help them do it, like help them build leverage. He has great tips. And I feel like if you work in an office, at the few offices that I've worked in, it is tricky because you want to be friends. Like my first thing again is like, I'm always like, I just want to go deep. I want to be close with people right away. But especially in a workplace, you can't just be like, so how's your family dynamic?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You have to kind of get to know them on a lighter level. And then, down the road, maybe you guys can become friends or, build a stronger relationship. But especially if you really like your job and you're trying to work your way up, it's very important to like not be, I don't know, too
good for it,
personal, yeah, or be like, oh, that's just fake. I don't like that fake stuff where they just talk about whatever. It's so like fake and surface level. It's like, no, that's just kind of like
what it is,
how it is. Yeah, he just gives tips like your tone matters more than your point. Like they don't remember what you say, but like if you say things in a calm voice or bring things up, how you make people feel. Even if you're great at your job, it doesn't matter. If you like make people around you feel threatened or heaven forbid you're like aggressive in how you say something because you always think you're right. Just like how you talk to people and, just in day-to-day conversation matters a lot.
I feel like that is what makes people feel magnetic is like their energy surrounding how they present themselves, how they ask questions, and if they're interested in you as a person. Like that is literally what makes you, I feel like, someone who people gravitate towards.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
So lots of things to think about. I've just been really... Again, the algorithm's feeding me and I'm eating it up because I think also if you're a new mom or if you're a stay-at-home parent, you also can get caught up in like only talking to kids all day. And then when you go out and try and socialize with adults, you forget how to talk and then you get too scared to do it. And then you're like, I don't have a community. It's like, because you forget how to talk to other people. And so, which is definitely not a fault of your own. It's not like that's bad or you should feel guilty about that at all. Like that's totally valid and a real thing. But it's just something to think about. It's like, okay, I really want a community. I want more people around. Maybe you live away from your family and friends. Like maybe you or your spouse has a job in a place that you don't live by family and friends and you want to meet new people. You want to have like, again, acquaintances even to just like build things with. And that makes life enjoyable. Like the more I get out and the more I'm around other people, especially honestly, if I'm feeling a little bit anxious, if I'm going through like a hard time or I'm feeling, again, anxious or like sad or something, going through something mentally, the more I get out and socialize in that way with other people, not going out and trauma dumping and talking to people in that way, but even just like at
light
the store,
stuff.
Light stuff, talking to people, it just makes you feel one with everyone else. You just realize everybody's, without saying it, you realize everyone's going through stuff. You realize everyone's just living their life. You don't feel so alone. And that really is the most, I think you just hear that all the time. Like being alone is not good. And you don't want to feel alone. Like, oh, it makes you feel less alone. Like that just is said so many times. We're almost like desensitized to actually the power of it, but how important it is to not be alone all the time. And it can be so easy because we have like social media and we're
Which
working
makes
from
you
home.
feel more alone, honestly.
Yes.
Like seeing other people on social media because it's not a real, true person-to-person connection.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are certain things that can make you feel less alone on social media, certain concepts. But as far as like your community and your village, that needs to be in person, and that needs to be something that you have physically around you to see people. And I feel like it's important. Introvert, extrovert, it doesn't matter. It's important to connect with other people in life. Like that is, just it's such an important part of life.
Yeah.
So.
And I think also don't be afraid to extend invitations. Like, okay, so say you meet someone at a workout class or you guys go to the same, like your kids go to the same school, or you meet someone in college, like whatever it is, you're in the same class and you have a good like light conversation. You're talking to them. You kind of like are going off of each other. You're riffing. You're like, okay, this seems great. Like they seem lovely. Don't be afraid of the rejection. Like lean into the fear of rejection, of being weird, of being whatever, and just like extend an invitation and just be like, oh, can I get your number? I'd love to like catch up and grab lunch or something. A quick thing with them. Don't be like, come over and let's trauma dump.
No,
after.
exactly.
Like after the first thing, like you just be like, hey, I would love to grab lunch with you sometime. There's a really cute spot, like a new spot. We should try it out. And then get their number and just be like, hey, let's plan a date to like go to lunch real quick. Have it be a quick thing where you just chat real quick. It doesn't need to be like, okay, now you're my best friend and we are, community. You're my person who I come talk to. It's just like plant the seeds and see what grows.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is you don't know what's going to grow. And there are certain people who you're going to vibe with, and there's certain people who you're not. Or maybe initially you're like, oh, I think I really like that. And then you hang out with them a few times. You're like, yeah, that's fun. But they're not my person. It's not my best friend. And that's totally fine. They can just be an acquaintance to you. Like there are reasons and seasons, okay, for every person in your life. And every person does not have to be everything to you. And you don't have to be everything to every person. And that takes the pressure off too.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how, like I was saying, like I will overexert myself because I do feel like I've had so many close friends in my life that like if one starts to kind of slip where I'm like, dang, I haven't like caught up with them in a while, like I feel bad. I'm like, it's just that chapter of life. Like it's nothing deep at all. It's just like I don't have the capacity, especially after having a kid, to catch up with 15 different people every week, you know? Yeah. So like you have to let some things drop a little.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Yes, and that's totally fine.
Definitely.
And you also, kind of the values thing we were talking about. Did we talk about that a little on the podcast last week? Or were we talking about it in person?
I can't remember. I genuinely cannot remember.
Well,
I don't think it was on the podcast. I think it was before the podcast.
It's basically just
that was
the concept the concept that your values could differ from your friends. Number one, everyone has different values in life. And like there are more specific values. That was another, Kenzie had Susie Welch on her podcast. These are the 2 episodes I was listening in preparation. And she was just talking about, I mean, we could do a full episode on that. We should honestly take the little quiz that she has to find out your values. But everyone has different things that they prioritize in life. And you don't all have to have the exact same things in your community, in your friendships. But at the same time, sometimes values shift and perspectives change and priorities change. And that is going to affect your friendships. Like it is probably going to be hard if your best friend over time has completely different values than you. Like they value something, you know, that you're just like, that's not a priority to me at all. It doesn't mean you still can't be friends. You can like love each other for who you are, but it might just not flow as well anymore. And that's totally okay. Like that's just what happens in life, is things shift and, you know, people's lives change, their jobs change, where they live changes. And like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, I'm not saying like cut them out of your life, but it's just okay for it to kind of flow in that direction. Let them be them. You can be you.
Definitely.
And yeah, I want to do that quiz though, because I feel like that'd be very interesting.
We did the one a long time ago. Literally, we started the podcast. There's like the 4 values that we did, like the color quiz.
Yeah.
Where I think it's fun, power. I forgot the other 2. But I would love to see more.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's so many more than just 4.
I think it's a free test, so maybe we can take it and talk about it next week.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because that would be interesting.
That is very fascinating to me as well.
Same.
Human psychology.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about? Okay,
no,
great.
Was it.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Like we said at the beginning, if you guys want to come see us on the road, on tour, make sure to get your tour tickets. Go on our Instagram. We have a highlight called Tour that has all the links for the tickets. We had a little, I don't know if I should say this because I don't know if they will still be available. We had a little glitch on our New York website that people could not buy VIP tickets. And it was like a
practice
separate
your
link.
small talk, come practice with us.
Yeah, exactly. So VIP. If you guys in New York, if you guys want to meet us in person, take some pictures, do a meet and greet, then look for those VIP tickets because, again, I'm not sure if we've linked them and if they're gone now, but if there's any left, they will be here now. Run and get them. And yeah, we have some extra shows. So check out our tickets. We love you guys so, so much. And that's what we said. Bye.